Welcome to the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. Your adventure into the world of comic book movies starts here.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. My name is Travis.
And I'm Patrick, with special guest.
Hey, it's me, Ralph Attanasia from Buddy vs. Duff and Cake Boss.
So glad to have you back.
It's nice to be back, fellas.
Hasn't been too long. We did the first Ninja Turtles, I don't know, six episodes ago, maybe?
What a great movie.
Yeah.
You
want to talk about that one again?
Gladly. I actually had a dream last night that we were doing Terminator 2 instead of Ninja Turtles 2, and I was really excited.
I mean, that's coming up soon.
That movie's really good.
Yeah, it is.
This one is flaccid. I don't know a better word to describe this movie.
I kept thinking watered down, but I like flaccid. Yeah, that's...
lackluster.
Okay, yeah.
Vanilla,
okay.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Best part of the movie.
You might not be wrong.
It's up there.
Yeah.
This movie makes a lot of choices. I don't want to get ahead of you guys.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Well, so yes, without further ado, we are here to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, one of the longest movie titles in history.
Yeah. Oh, you know what the secret of the Ooze is, by the way? It's garbage. It was garbage. It's an accident.
Yep. I thought we were special.
You're a talking teenage turtle that knows ninjutsu. I think you're still special.
Yeah.
That is that is one of the nicest moments of the movie, though,
I
when
agree.
Splinter tells him, like, don't let the specter of your origin hang over whatever,
Prove your
how
worth.
great you are now.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some Ninja Turtles and, yeah. Patrick,
surprisingly, not that many taglines.
I wondered, I don't recall any taglines from this one.
Yeah.
Right, because doesn't the previous movie have, like, a dozen?
Yeah, at least 12 that are kind of all the same. But this has 2, which I guess makes sense since it's the second movie. But, wow, they're bad.
Well, they probably figured we don't have to try as hard for marketing, so...
That was evident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all built in this time.
Yeah.
So what were the taglines for this one?
I'm kind of I don't want to even read these. These are so bad. Okay.
Do you want to type them into the chat and I'll read them?
Okay. We can
Would
do
that make you feel better?
I like that.
We could do that. Let's see here. Oh man. This is going to be... Yeah, I'm glad this is spelled out for me because I would not have known how to spell this.
All right. The first one is, "We don't care, kid. Your parents are going to pay anyway." Oh, wow. That's very, they really don't care, huh?
Yeah. It's almost
What's
rude.
the second one? "Bend over and take it." This movie is rude. It has rude taglines.
Yes, it does.
No, they're "backed by Bodacious Demand." That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
doesn't
one I was
make
embarrassed to say.
yeah, it doesn't make sense as like a sentence, but okay. The second one is like one of the ones I made up.
Yeah.
It just says, "Cowabunga, it's the new turtle movie."
Yep.
So
Very well thought out.
So I think I hit the nail on the head when I said that, marketing just kind of didn't really try with this one.
Nope.
Everything was kind of set up for them, so.
But just before we get too deep into anything, the opening of this movie, what is with this orgy of pizza consumption?
Yeah. Because pizza was such a big deal in the first one. I don't know.
I guess. And they're like, at least they're not eating Domino's again.
Oh, yeah. At least it's a, I don't know if it's a real
Roy's Pizza
location. Yeah. But
Yeah, original Fomus Roy's.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's if you don't get that joke, there's a pizzeria called Ray's. It's Famous Ray's, an original famous. There are two pizzerias claiming to be this original place, but I said Famous Roy's. Nothing helps a joke like explaining it, you know?
Yeah, it's tried and true.
There's somebody out there who's like, I legitimately didn't know about Famous Ray's. That's very clever.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love it when somebody has to explain why it's funny.
Yeah.
It just gets me. I don't know why. And I kind of knew that, and I should have got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a very good joke. I was hoping to...
Explanation was exquisite, though. I love that.
I was hoping to milk it a little bit.
Yeah. How about any memories of seeing this movie for the first time?
Oh, yeah, man. I remember seeing this one in the theaters as a little kid and being a little confused and underwhelmed. Like, there was no Ninja Turtle product that didn't delight me as a child.
Right.
Anything that I consumed that had the turtles, I was there for. But this, I was a little bit like, well, okay, but why isn't that Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the big questions as a kid, you know.
Yeah, and like as an adult, I understand. Like they didn't have the rights to the cartoon characters and stuff when they made this movie. It had to be based on the comics or things that were created originally for the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that should have been. And why was what's his name? Paley Preston? Perry. Why wasn't he Baxter Stockman?
That's one of my notes too. It's probably the same reason with the rights.
But Stockman's in like the second issue of the comics.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
He is black in the comics.
Yeah.
It's really only the cartoon has a white Baxter Stockman wearing a bow tie.
I don't know.
You sound defeated by this movie, Travis.
No, I mean, I had fun watching it, you know, but I have no misconceptions that it's, you know, a good movie. So, Patrick, do you have any first time memories?
Yeah, and I think I get the pizza thing because it was a big thing in our cafeteria.
Okay.
Like if it was pizza day, you had to eat all your pizza to, you know, get your turtle power up.
I fully understand this concept.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The whole orgy pizza thing, I just ran with it as a kid. I think.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's New York. All they do is eat pizza. So that matches up. Turtles eat pizza. So that's why we're doing this. All right.
Right.
And mainly I remember Vanilla Ice and thinking that was like, you know, the peak of music at the time.
Well, sure.
I mean, Vanilla Ice, come on. Plus,
he's the voice of a generation.
I thought the Turtles still looked awesome. Like the whole like puppeteering of the face and moving it around. So I always thought that was cool.
Sure.
I don't know why, but I didn't like the Toka and Razor that much.
Yeah,
I like
those guys.
The older I get, the more I like Toka. But Razor, he looks wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I remember just going with it. I don't really remember loving it, but it was probably just something that was Ninja Turtles, so I just sat and watched.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was. I don't remember being conflicted with the movie at all. Like, it's weird because as much as I love the first one and would watch it, you know, basically every day, like I talked about, I somehow wasn't hyped up for this movie. I don't know if I somehow just missed the marketing and all that stuff. Not that there was much, but like I didn't see it in theater. I think I had a cousin that saw it in theater and then told me about it and said, yeah, there's like monsters in it this time. And I thought, oh, surely Bebop and Rocksteady. Okay, cool. And then I got real hyped because he told me that Vanilla Ice was in it as well. And then I guess some time went by and my dad brought it home. He rented it for me on VHS and, you know, I sat down and watched it a couple times that weekend and eventually I must have got the movie for myself probably on a birthday and then, you know, would just continue to watch it. Probably not as much as the first one, but yeah, it was one that I rewatched quite a bit and didn't really think about too much and didn't notice how things were watered down until years later. So
This movie is also terrified of silence.
oh yeah,
Like, every character has to be saying as many things as possible all the time.
sure.
Especially Mikey.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Mikey is tweaked out in this movie. Do either of you get the Ralph Nader joke
No.
with the net? Because I do not.
No.
I don't think I
heard
ever
it. I
did.
had no idea. I knew I vaguely know him as like the Green Party guy, but
Yeah. But I don't.
No. And there's several like movies that we've been going through that were a part of my childhood, and especially the first one, and things like Batman, and like things that I didn't understand as a kid, like suddenly make sense when you kind of rewatch it as an adult, and that's still one that I don't really get, but I didn't take the time or bother to look it up because I figured it's probably not all that interesting now. But yeah, so let's kind of go through. Do we think all the pizza is coming from Roy's that everyone is eating, or like are they just so popular that it's all coming from this one place, or is it, some's from Ray's, some's from Roy's, some is from wherever?
I don't know.
It's from the same place. They kind of make it feel that way.
Yeah.
With how busy it is, and
So it's the best pizzeria in the entire New York. Yeah, I don't know. They make a big deal of showing everybody eating the pizza, but then like there's no payoff to that at all.
No. Just really to introduce us to Kino, I guess, Which,
Oh. And where would we be if we weren't introduced to Kino?
man, I totally forgot about his quote unquote joke.
Sure.
To the girl.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
She says in your dreams, and then he says something like,
I'll dream about
of something thinner or something like
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that woman's weight.
No.
I know.
Second of all, this kid is a creep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, later he just lets himself into April's apartment.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. Ugh. Yeah. Where he's
So here's my real
finds
question.
turtles.
Why is he at her apartment when that happens?
Oh yeah, he says there's like a delivery, but the guy
Yeah,
didn't
like-
show. But
Yeah, he has no reason to assume that the turtles are in April's apartment. Unless maybe them stealing the pizzas
Yeah.
clued him in that they're the ones who've been ordering all the pizzas to her apartment.
but still, that's a bit of a
Yeah, it's a bit of a
leap in
stretch.
logic.
Yeah.
yeah. Because what's the alternative? She has nothing to do with the turtles, and he's just broken into her apartment essentially.
Yeah, he's just at the door. Like, she's like, I didn't order a pizza. He's like, well, the guy at 313 did, but he's not answering the door. And then he walks in.
I think what always
Which-
bothered me as a kid is what happened to the guy in 313.
It's New York, so
Yeah.
murder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you were to ask, like, in any other movie, that would be the villain move.
Yeah, especially with like we have that minor character Freddy, who turns out to be a Foot member, and he's kind of
Yeah.
working with April. Like you could almost see that as being like a setup for Kino, but I don't know. It kind of I get it that they want a new POV character. We've already like April already is very familiar with the turtles, so we can't have her meet them again, and so he is our new April O'Neil kind of in this movie.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like he just ends up being Raphael's like pet human.
Yeah.
I don't.
He definitely is Raph's pet.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand what made him think that some vans with stuff in it meant that there was a crime across the street.
Why he didn't put the pizza down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But also, so one of the best things about the previous movie, it's the first movie gives really, it gives equal time to like the Turtle stories and to Casey's story and to April's story. Like everything feels like it has equal weight and it's all important. It's all there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the chemistry between April and Casey and April and the Turtles and Casey and the Turtles is great.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's never a time where, like, if it cuts to an April and Casey scene, I'm going like, I just want to see rubber costumes. I'm like, no, I love them too.
Mm-hmm.
Kino's a little bit of a chore.
A little bit, yeah.
But we do get this awesome fight sequence with salami and other cold cut combos.
Yeah, and clowns and foam.
Donatello pretending to be a weird spring-oriented toy.
Punch bag thing, yeah. I love this fight scene. It's fun to me. I mean...
It's fun, but it is weird looking at it.
Oh, yeah. It does not hold up to scrutiny. You know.
Yeah, I was a big fan as a kid of that scene. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. I think, like, because the turtles have been like redesigned here a little bit. I mean, it's not crazy. You know, it's mostly subtle. I think Michelangelo looks the best of the redesigned turtles. Like, because he looks
the most like he looks the most like he did in the previous movie, but he also has the best redesign. Like, Raph and Donnie come out pretty rough in this one.
Yeah, I think it may be because maybe Michelangelo was already the most childlike of the group, so he mostly just kind of looks the same, I think. But yeah, the rest of them seem a little just off a little bit.
I would almost argue that Mikey's design is actually a little better in this one.
Okay.
Because he has less of a permanent grin sculpted in than he does in the first movie.
Okay.
But his face shape is still the same, and I liked that face shape.
Yeah.
But he is a little manic visually in the first. In this one, he's manic in his behavior. Like, he's at 11 at all times.
Yeah.
I don't just want to spend the whole time going, you know what this movie is? Right. Not as good as the previous one.
Yeah.
I think we've already established that, and I'm going to try to ease off of it a little bit, but it's not as good as the previous one.
The thing that always kind of bugged me is when we cut to Shredder, and like they're living with April, and there's the whole like discussion of defeating the Shredder and him being gone, and I think Splinter kind of sets it up, like gives an ominous response or something, and then it fades over to
it's just like, and now he's dead and he'll never come out of a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him coming out of a pile of garbage.
And the whole thing is like, when is this movie set? Obviously some time has passed. April has been able to get a new apartment and all that stuff.
Tons of pizzas have been ordered.
Yeah. But it's
Shredder
like
just got dropped off by the dump truck.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could almost have two timelines here where April and the Turtles have their own, timeline where time has passed. But then if you go to the Foot, it could be the day after he got dumped off, and then he shows up and the Foot show up at their junkyard backup spot. Like that could be the next day. So it's like, if you just move some of the Shredder and Foot stuff as more of a like opening scene, like tease that at the beginning, then you can cut away to turtle hijinks and with pizza and all that stuff, and you can understand that time passes. So that
it would honestly almost increase the stakes of that opening fight a little bit, to know that while this is happening, the Shredder's back.
Yeah,
but also he was crushed to death.
Well, he did have a disfiguring face based on everyone's reaction to him.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. But then they do a close-up and he may have a broken nose, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Shredder is not a threat in this movie.
Oh, no.
They also take the teeth out of Tatsu in a big way, who he's one of my favorite additions to sort of the Ninja Turtle lore.
Sure.
To come out of that first movie is that character.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He's a really welcome addition. And in this, he spends most of his time just standing arms crossed, mean mugging at fight scenes.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, you're right. There's so many opportunities where he could join the fight, or they just really just wipe it under the rug with, well, I've been defeated by them, so I couldn't possibly fight them again.
And then when he does fight them, when he actually finally steps up to fight them, his entire fight with the Turtles consists of the four of them slamming their shells into him, and he falls down comically.
Oh, I was confused. I thought we were talking about Shredder, but yeah, you're talking about Tatsu.
Oh yeah, Tatsu. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I was talking about both of them.
Sure.
I got a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tatsu's basically becomes like the fourth stooge, and a lot of these fights are just kind of slapsticky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
feel
do-
like any of the fights are serious at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I really like, especially the fight at TGRI. If you look in the background, there are just ninjas doing like ninja dance like like the hold animation, you know, like they're if you're
Oh,
playing
yeah,
a
yeah.
fighting game and they kind of like bounce back and forth with their weapon, like they're just doing that in the background
Yeah.
to make it look like a fight is going on. But who are like they're not fighting anybody.
Yeah. That's funny.
They're just standing back there swinging their weapons around, so it looks like something's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Step closer.
Yeah. His back is to you. Hit him.
They're like they let them have so many asides and huddles and do so many bits.
Yeah. I think
Also,
the
this
best-
movie is never not doing a bit.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the best fight is probably the tryout fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's trying to get into the Foot Clan.
do you mean like between Raphael and the Foot and Kino, or just the
No,
actual?
Kino
No,
and random guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when Kino's sparring
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
other foot guys.
I
That's
did.
the best fight in the movie.
Might be,
Right
yeah.
there.
I did
I'll say
notice
this.
in the credits it makes a point to say fights performed by, or Ernie Reyes Jr. Performs his fight as Kino himself or something like that. So it's that's all him apparently. I mean he may have had a stunt person for some of his stuff, but it maybe not because it does specify that he
Yeah,
did his own.
even his little fight that he has in the beginning of that first like comical fight scene when he comes across the guys stealing all the stuff.
Yeah.
The little bit of fighting he does there is great. I got nothing bad to say about Ernie Reyes'
Yeah.
fight performances in this movie.
Yeah, if you enjoy this movie, you're gonna love Surf Ninjas.
You know what? I don't know that. Wait, no, you might be right. Sorry. Yes, if you liked this movie, you might like Surf Ninjas.
Yes, it's right up there with hokey jokes and Rob Schneider,
Mm.
Tone Loc. It's a '90s
Man.
classic.
I love Tone Loc.
It is a bizarre movie where his brother is a psychic using a Game Gear.
Right.
That's legit.
Right.
That's how it is.
Wow.
Man, Tone Loc doesn't do enough stuff anymore.
Yeah, he peaked with Bebe's Kids.
Yeah, the 90s ended, and like the ghost of Christmas Present, he just faded away, you know? Like, that's it for my time. Goodbye.
We'll always have Ace Ventura.
That's right.
All
And
right.
Funky Cold Medina.
I think one of the best things in this movie is Splinter. I think he feels like he's still in the first movie. Like they didn't change anything. The performance is fantastic. I think I think the puppet looks as close to the first movie. Like it just feels like
Yeah.
nothing changed for him. It almost seems like, and in his little scenes where he provides his sage like wisdom, they feel like they have the same weight to them that the first movie did. So I think he's a
Splinter,
standout.
you're absolutely right. The puppet and the puppeteering are both as good as ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the archery scene with him is kind of weird.
Yeah.
To look
He looks like a Muppet when he walks away.
at. Yeah. It's like
And
he's
also-
on a stick and they're just moving him along.
Yeah.
If he's there at that point, why does he leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, you've got it from here. I'm gonna go watch my stories.
And was he
Kinda.
there from the start? Was this a plan? Did he just show up? And I can never
Did
tell
say
if
they had backup or something. So
Yeah.
So they had
It was
insurance.
Mutual of Splinter.
But how the Ninja Turtles didn't notice a giant cable net thing under their feet?
Right.
is Still confusing to
Somebody,
me.
a friend of mine shared a meme about that scene just a couple of weeks ago. It's the that form where there's like the couple laying in bed and the guy's rolled away from the girl and
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
thinking, I wonder if he's thinking about other women. And then it's just a picture of that scene saying, why didn't Leo use his katanas to cut the net?
that's a good, I guess, segue. At least a good, comment into the fact that they never use their weapons, in this movie. Although I did notice Donatello using his staff once to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I think it was either in the toy fight or it was.
He fights some foot soldiers with it or some foot ninjas with it when he's infiltrating the thing, like when he does that thing where he's following them back and forth, and then he knocks on the ground, and they both have staffs, and he fights them for a minute.
Yeah. Everyone
And
else, you never see Raph's size out. You never.
So he uses them for like a hot second in that first fight in the toy store, but he's got them like tucked into his forearms, and he's just hitting with the handle side.
Yeah.
Which is, a way that Sai are used.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't really see the weapons.
Yeah. As a kid, I never noticed that part of the watering down, of parents being upset that of showing weapons being used. So they just said, well, we just won't use their conventional weapons in this movie. And, like I said, didn't notice it as a kid, but now it's very glaringly obvious.
Yeah, they don't even bring their weapons to the final fight. And I don't remember if that was a condition that Shredder set on them, or...
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I think by that time wasn't even paying attention to the weapons.
Huh. Oh, wait, that's probably why Leo didn't use his katanas to get out of the net.
Well, that would have been... It would have been appropriate for him to have them then, because that wasn't the fight that they were supposed to show.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, that's not the final fight with Toka and Reza. That's the first time they meet them.
Yeah, that's
so
the
he should have had them.
fight, not the construction site. Yeah.
So we had one of the best bits of the movie here.
Okay.
With basically them going, it's quiet, a little too quiet.
Sure.
It's Raph. A little too Raph.
I love that. I don't know why. It just gets me.
That was a good joke.
Yeah.
It's one of the few in this movie, but that's...
It's so cheesy, but I love it.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Who's perfect?
I'm glad I'm not
this?
alone. I just...
Yeah. I'm glad you said it, because I would have felt bad if I had forgotten about it. Who was
shining moments? That's all.
Yeah, David Warner is
yes.
great. I think last year or a few months ago or something. I don't know. Time is an illusion. I did an episode of TMNT Minute, and I was talking to them about the scene at the end of the junkyard fight, where David Warner, they take him down into the sewer. And he's talking to them about their origin and everything. He is lovely in this movie.
He is, yeah.
Like, I do miss Casey Jones, but if we get David Warner, that's good.
Yeah, it feels like a good replacement, or a good substitution. Obviously, not the same type of character, but it's. I think he's
someone who's worth watching.
And he's been in. He was in Star Trek V as a human, and we'll see him again in Star Trek VI as a Klingon, I believe.
Oh, and then he's also, he's what is he? He's the lackey of Billy Zane in Titanic.
Yeah, he's the heavy.
Yeah, how weird is that? Like, what a weird role for him.
It is, yeah.
Billy Zane, who looks like he could probably kick the crap out of Leonardo DiCaprio at that point in time.
For sure.
Maybe not now, but then. And he's like, go, my elderly British friend. Take care of this kid.
Yeah, it'd be like if Alfred was fighting all of Batman's fights.
Master Bruce, are you sure? I can't be bothered right now, Alfred.
I could get down with that. I'd like to see Alfred go to town on the Joker.
Yeah.
The problem is Alfred would kill him.
I always thought he was a badass.
Right, like Alfred doesn't have that compulsion or compunction against killing people that Batman does. Alfred would pull out a gun and shoot him.
Yeah. I'll do what you couldn't, Master Wayne.
Yeah, he was MI5, right? Like, wasn't he was British secret intelligence or whatever?
I think they've kind of retconned that a little bit and made him more of a badass. Like, he was SAS, I think. But
well, either way,
yeah,
he shouldn't have any problem with killing a murderer.
No.
Alfred is the hero Gotham needs.
And I think David Warner would play a good Alfred.
I
don't know what he's up to these days, but
he's probably quite old by now.
And I mean, Alfred,
he's got to be in his 70s. Maybe closing in on 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we don't even have to guess. We can just ask the internet.
That is true. While you're doing that, I'm
not
going
the
to talk.
Australian cricketer, the other David Warner.
Ooh.
There's something in the when the turtles kind of infiltrate the TGRI facility. Donnie's typing makes me so happy because it's this.
No, with his giant oven mitt fingers.
Yeah. Well, and this movement that he does, where he'll take his right hand and cross over the top of his left hand to hit, the letters on the left side of his left hand. So it's just so ridiculous, but.
It's like those keyboard players that do the same thing. It's just stylish.
Mm.
Yeah. Like when you watch, anytime Chico Marx is playing the piano, and that's a nice, fresh reference for all our young listeners. Seriously, if you're a young person who's listening to this and you've never seen a Marx Brothers movie, just find a clip on YouTube of Chico Marx playing piano, or Harpo Marx, either of them. They are these amazing trick piano players. And I know the idea of a trick piano player sounds crazy. Watch it.
It's vaudeville, baby.
Yeah, Warner's 78, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, pretty close to 80. Wow.
I hope he lives forever.
Mm-hmm.
They really dressed him like a nerdy scientist in this movie, too. They're like, all right, lab coat in every scene, bow tie, pants to mid-shin.
Yeah, I mean, really, he is just playing Baxter Stockman. At least the one I'm mostly familiar with, in
Yeah, he's like cartoon Baxter Stockman.
Yeah.
Also, he's kind of presented as maybe a villain in the opening scene, and then never again.
Well, it's sort of a villain there in the middle when he's working for Shredder, and it's kind of his idea to use Toka and Razar as just, brute strength and kind of using them as a weapon.
Yeah, because he felt bad about them being killed,
Yeah.
but then there's a throwaway line later in the movie when he lets the turtles know. He's like, when I contaminated the ooze to make Toka and Razar, intellectually stunted and therefore less of a threat. And you're like, wait, you did what?
Yeah, like he can control something that was a complete accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he made them idiots to screw over the Shredder.
Yeah.
I guess.
Babies. I believe that's how the Shredder says it.
That baby's lines.
I love when Razar hits Toka on the head with that big pipe, and just the bang.
Yeah.
They are stupid. It's stuff
The
like
infants.
that is fun, but
They're stupid infants.
yeah.
The Shredder, there's something about Shredder just complaining that they're stupid in those words is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Because that's not how he usually, like, they are imbeciles or
Right,
something. You'd expect that, but it's a perfectly reasonable objection to using these things. It's like, well, what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
They're stupid.
I got some kind of quick points here. Michael Jai White is one of the trainees that is hanging around when Keno shows up at underneath the Brooklyn.
Why do I know his name?
He was Spawn.
Got it.
He is kind of known for his martial arts movies. He was Gamble, one of the gangsters that
In the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, yeah. So he's been around. He's done several like martial arts. Oh, he was Black Dynamite.
He was supposed to be the villain in Solo.
That's Michael K. Williams.
Right. It's too much. That name was too similar.
Yeah. So you got him. There's a guy that comes in to like take them kind of onto the next path or whatever, and it's like he's this. I'm gonna tell you guys once, and it's like you sir are no Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Also, everything about that guy screams elite martial artist to me.
Yes. Yeah. When they're at the junkyard, and it occurred to me that Tatsu and Raph never met. So when
is that true?
I think so. Because think about it, when the Foot show up on April's rooftop, Raphael gets beaten into unconsciousness, and then they fall. He's unconscious then until the towards the end of the movie, and then it's...
That's right. And Casey takes out Tatsu,
Right.
so the turtles don't ever fight him again.
Yeah. So
Man,
kind of
Raph
when
kind of sucks.
yeah.
How dare you?
Just saying, he gets caught a lot. 2 movies,
It's
I don't
true.
know. Gets beaten to death almost, and now he's tied to a post like an imbecile.
So my biggest problem with this movie is that the turtles individually don't really have a story.
Right.
In the here we go again. In the previous movie, everybody has kind of a little story arc to go through, you know?
Sure.
Like Raph has his whole thing, and that gets sort of resolved. Then it becomes kind of like Leo's movie, where he has to learn to be a leader. Donnie worries about losing Splinter. I don't think Mikey really has much of an arc that I recall.
No.
But everybody has their own little story, and in this,
It's, to me, this one has always kind of been Raphael and Donatello's movie to some degree, because Raphael and he kind of teams up with Kino, and he's wanting to find the foot and be proactive. And then the
give
Donatello stuff, it's about him coming to grips with their origin story and finding out about the ooze and all that stuff.
And Donnie definitely gets a little bit more. He gets more accolades from the other turtles for the things he does in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leo feels like an afterthought for most of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's almost like a filler episode of the TV show. It's just
kind of, yeah.
Let's do this just to kill some time. Like,
Mutant of the week.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a movie. Like as far as the story goes, it's just let's find out some more about the ooze on this week's episode of TMNT.
Yeah. There's a weird, with the Donatello explaining that he thought that they were special and obviously having a hard time with that, and he Michelangelo leads Dr. Perry off to go rest or whatever, and while he's gone, then Donatello continues talking to Splinter and the others, like that he doesn't trust Perry and there's got to be more to it. He just doesn't believe that it was all an accident, and that's never addressed again. They never come back to it. There's never any closure there for Donatello, and by the end of it, he's, they cook up the special anti-mutagen, and they figure out that it needs CO2 to act as a catalyst and all that. So it's the actual anti-mutagen is touched on again, but the story behind the ooze is never really brought up again. So just kind of
it's just garbage that was made by accident.
Yeah.
And I always kind of wondered, what is he hoping was the case? Like that they were weird science experiments, or
he wants purpose, I guess.
Because I don't know, it's just weird. Like the alternative is that somebody did this on purpose, and how does that make things any better?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's not like it's divine or something.
Sorry, maybe it's the difference between like intent and accident that for some reason is important to him.
Because in that case, then Toka and Reza are intended, then I don't know. It doesn't seem that much special, or
right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe I just don't understand what he's looking for.
I think it's simpler than that.
Okay.
It's lazy writing just to give the appearance of some kind of character conflict in the movie, because it's never really addressed or resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, I think it's more unique that it just happened to happen, rather than somebody screwing up a science experiment.
I do like that in the explanation, Perry says, during its transport, there was an accident and one of the containers was lost. And it kind of takes it back to the real original origins of the turtles being like, what if the radioactive isotope that caused Daredevil to go blind and gave him powers, what if that isotope fell into the sewer and gave the turtles powers? So that feels like it's a little bit like, okay, this is still in that realm of, somewhere out there Daredevil's running around and they've just never bumped into each other.
Yeah, it's a nice little nod.
Yeah. We see after Toka and Razar go on their little, you know, damage spree and in a very empty New York backlot, we see Chief Stearns again for some reason.
Yeah,
I feel like that could be anybody. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's nice to have a little bit of continuity because like it's a different April. She has a different boss. We don't have Casey anymore.
Yeah, I think that's why it stands out, because you see someone who's very familiar from the first movie interacting with someone else who was not in the first movie, and it I don't know, stood out to me this time. Of you could have grabbed any police chief for this scene, you know, but I don't know.
I don't even think we needed the scene in general.
Basically, yeah.
All she does is go, were there teeth marks and claw marks?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Like, you don't get this type of blatant cops admitting that they're not going to do anything to solve the problem. They're not going to try.
Yeah, that's a weird line, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's our specialty.
I mean, you don't get that sort of stuff today. Today, it's very, like, you know, it feels like everyone has to be very pro-military, very pro, you know, first responders, and, you know, whether police and firefighters and military and all that stuff. It's, you know, we're kind of in a different time, I guess. So,
well, I think it was also like the early '90s, so that was probably not the greatest time to be a police officer.
Yeah,
as far as, you know, police brutality stuff going on.
Sure, but I think just that overall accepted idea that the police are useless, that this movie, you know, is maintaining.
The Police Academy franchise is basically a franchise about just that.
So I discovered last night that my best friend has not seen this movie.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't seen the first one. I guess probably not this one either, if it comes to it. But we were there was a brewery in Philadelphia that was having a Ninja Turtles themed party.
Nice.
We went in, and this was playing on one TV, Secret of the Ooze was playing on another, and the episode of the 2012 series with the Pulverizer, when he gets turned into Mutagen Man, was playing on another. That's not important. But my friend Micah looks up at the TV, and it's the scene with Chief Stearns, and he goes, "Who's this sweaty guy?" And I'm like, "That's Chief Stearns. He's the police chief in the... Have you not seen the Ninja Turtles movie?" And he's like, man. "No, I don't believe I have."
Wow.
So...
Well, don't make this his first viewing. That's
no,
weird.
But, like, I gotta make him watch it.
For sure.
It's your mission.
Yeah,
we'll
get
pizza. How old is this individual?
34, 33.
So they have no reason to have not seen it. That's crazy.
No, and he's dating the only person my age that I know, or close to my age that I know, who thinks that the first Ninja Turtles movie is a bad movie.
Ooh.
Has she seen the second movie?
I don't know.
Man.
But I don't think it's a good idea at this point.
Wow, okay. Well, all
anyway,
sorts out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vanilla Ice is in the end of the movie. People care about that.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. Best music video I've ever seen.
He's in it a lot less than I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like that he's in it. I think I just expected there to be more and expected him to pop up kind of at the end. I don't know.
See, that's interesting. Like, I see what you're saying, but also it feels like Ninja Rap goes on for 10 solid minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because really once the construction fight happens, which also the construction, you know, set piece, I think for some reason in my head was a big action set piece that they transitioned into the dock, you know, the dock house, what is it called? The dock
shore
club. They transitioned to that much sooner than I remember.
They're there for kind of a long time.
Yeah. The whole, like, here's something I thought. The whole pre-fight donut, you know, ruse that they come up with to hide the ice cubes, you know, for the...
Oh, yeah, donut ritual.
Why not make it pizza?
Why not make it pizza?
The start of the movie makes pizza such a big, important thing to the turtle lore. Why wouldn't you disguise the mutagen in pizza instead of donuts? Like,
and it's in the scene right before that too, where like Perry is transported to pepperoni heaven
Right.
by his slice of pizza.
Yeah.
They drop pizza into the retromutagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, but how are we going to get them to eat it? You guys, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Donuts.
So that was a question that I
Yeah.
had.
How did this movie miss that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have had like a deep dish or something if you were worried about the ice cube
Sure.
mutagen.
Or
I don't
it
know.
doesn't have to be ice cubes. It could be, that could be the sauce.
Mix it into the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're big monsters. They're not gonna know the difference between,
It's true,
tomato
they've been
sauce
living in
and
a dump. So
yeah.
Yeah, and they're babies.
Right.
Famously
They're
babies.
Stupid babies.
But they're stupid.
Yeah. So Vanilla Ice and the club.
Have you ever seen a turtle get down?
I've seen them slam and
jam
jam.
into the new swing sound.
Also, I do not like the Super Shredder.
No.
Oh.
No. It's
Talk about stupid.
so again, like I think one of the things I tend to do is like rewrite these movies in my head of why didn't they do this instead? Why not when Shredder shows up at the Dock Shore Club, make him Super Shredder then. And then it's scary that he shows up. And then he can have like a little bit of an action scene and a fight, and it can be more threatening to the civilians and all that stuff. And then you can take him down with even, you can still shoot him out through the window with the amps or whatever. But
Yeah, they totally
that's
stole
dumb.
that from Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
yeah.
Also, so I have a weird wrong memory of this movie.
Okay.
Because for years I had the first and third one on VHS, but not the second one.
Okay.
And then when the movies, then when everything changed over to DVD, somehow I wound up only having the first and third ones on DVD. And this is probably the Turtles movie I've watched the least.
That's interesting.
And I had a memory of Shredder being brought back to life by the Ooze.
I don't know.
Like, I remember a scene of them, like, piping it into his crushed armor or something, or something like that happening. And that was how he came back. And I think I told people that that's what happens.
Wow. Fake news, man.
Yeah, it's just, but it's not, it's just a weird, wrong memory.
Factors.
No, it's just the faultiness of human memory. But
I kind of, because I could see that with the way his armor gets crushed in the first movie, and then there are those tubes that they use to pipe in to Tokar Razor's cage or holding cell.
yeah, I must
So I
have
could
mushed
see
all that
maybe
stuff
it
together.
combining into one weird memory you have.
But instead, it's just, Master Shredder, I thought you were crushed to death.
Yeah.
Well, I got better.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Let's go kill some turtles, bros.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Shredder tries to destroy the turtles and himself all in one fit of rage.
Yeah.
This is
It's such a lame ending.
rage with Ooze. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very lame. He gets blasted out of the club by a keytar and then kills himself because he can't stop taking out pylons.
Yeah.
And the turtles just plop into the water and love being turtles.
I
So
always love
basically-
the turtles in the water thing, but just purely as a visual thing of them, their shells, and seeing them be turtle-like is always a nice, a welcome thing. But
Yeah. So basically, we have two movies, and in neither of them, the turtles defeat the Shredder.
yeah, and it's like with it ending with his hand in the rubble and then falling. Like, we have no reason to believe that Shredder is truly dead here.
Yeah.
I mean, they very pointedly say, that's it. That's the end of the Shredder, But,
We haven't said that before and have been totally wrong.
right.
Yeah. When he was just a man, he survived being crushed to death by a garbage truck. So now that he is a super mutant, and also his armor was mutated.
Yeah, I was going to say, his mutated metal. That's one of those things that just, I get the, we want to increase the coolness of this movie, so we're going to give him crazy armor, but it's just such a stupid idea.
Yeah.
He basically becomes Bane.
Yeah.
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 Batman. He loses all martial arts abilities with his bulky frame now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anything, he's less of a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he takes his own ass out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the worst ending.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the one thing I did remember not liking was how it ended.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was kind of like, wait, what just happened? That's it?
Yeah.
What?
Nothing just happened, basically.
Yeah.
And a last note, because I don't want to dwell on the... I don't want to just pick apart minutia the whole time.
Sure.
But I'll say this. I remember when I watched the first movie, I was like, why is the Shredder wearing red? That doesn't look right. He should be in purple. And then when they put him in purple this movie, it's not better.
Yeah.
Of the two, I prefer the weird red jumpsuit that he's wearing in the previous movie. He's still got the metallic zebra stripe cape, though.
Yeah. His trash bag cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my kind of last notes were I couldn't remember the last time I saw April, and I had to think about it like, oh, it's when she tells them that, you know, they have to meet at the construction site or Shredder's going to send Toka and Razar into Central Park. And then I started to think, you know, this is all like during the clubhouse fight and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't think we see April ever again, which is weird because she should be kind of, you know, she should get like a little thing at the end, but you know, she does show up, and when Splinter is watching TV and she's giving a news report about now basically the turtles saving the city, essentially. So I think that's kind of a lame, you know, little way to show her at the end, just showing her on TV. Also think they missed a really good opportunity when Splinter is holding up the newspaper and it says Ninja Rap is born. I think that's where you have the turtles surrounding Vanilla Ice for a photo opportunity. Like,
oh yeah, that would have been good.
you know, because just having a picture of 4 turtles on a newspaper and saying Ninja Rap is born, like, why? What is that? I don't, you know, doesn't make sense. You know, obviously it does to us because we've seen the movie, but you know, throw Vanilla Ice in there.
Bigger question might be, why are there Ninja Turtles?
Well, sure, I'm sure that's in the article or the story.
Oh well.
Okay, is this movie over yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I really wished it ended with turtle power. You know, the
song at the end of this isn't. The song during the credits isn't even as good as Ninja Rap.
It's real bad. I actually, you know, I stayed through all of the credits, and yeah, this song would fit in a Captain Planet movie because this song, for some reason, is very eco-conscious. Like, it's very much about, you know, green and taking care of our planet and that sort of thing. Like, and there's a little bit of that, like a little bit of that in the movie. Yeah.
Like, they have a recycling bin with a big sign over it.
And it's about cleaning up nuclear waste and
exactly.
Yeah. That's all I've got.
Well, good. Frankly, I'm done with this movie. The only positive thing to come out of watching it was I got to talk to you guys for a little while, and I'm gonna eat some pizza.
Nice.
It did make me order pizza, so mission accomplished movie.
Pizza is good.
I had pizza last night.
See, it worked.
Yeah, it did. All right, let's transition over to our most villainous and most heroic moments.
This planet, these people, they are nothing to me. You were made to be ruled. The universe's power! Pure, unstoppable power! Come to me, son of Jor-El! Kneel before Zod! And I am that force! I am that power! In the end, you will always kneel. Kneel before your master!
I'll jump in with villainous, and you know, even this was difficult because with a movie like this that is, like I've said, so watered down, especially in terms of violence and things like that, like I guess the threat of turning Toka and Razar loose on Central Park is the most villainous, just because that's what makes them have to go fight, in the construction site and all that. But there's one other thing, but I don't want to mention it if it's one that you guys have.
I mean, Kino breaking into April's apartment and snooping around like Judge Doom in the bar in Roger Rabbit.
Nice.
It's probably my most villainous moment.
I think I'll go with just Shredder's willingness to just destroy what he created.
Oh, wait. No, that is pretty villainous.
Yeah, that's
but
good.
Shredder holding that random club-goer woman by the throat with a vial of ooze to just mutate her into God knows what. That's classic villainy.
Yeah,
he's wearing a cape when he does it, too.
That was my second one.
Yeah, that's a good villain moment.
Yeah. The actual, one of the only times in the movie someone's actually, threatened. But, yeah. How about Heroic?
I believe there's a hero in all of us
I just finally know what I have to do.
that keeps us honest,
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
gives us strength,
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
makes us noble.
And I know in my heart that it's right.
Well, he's going to get the villainous and heroic. So Kino at the beginning, where he, makes his grand entrance as pizza delivery man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And takes out those three guys, at least. I think that's probably the most heroic portion of the movie, at least entrance-wise.
I would agree. I'd follow it up with the turtles entering after that to help him.
Oh, sure.
Because all of that is people stopping. They're going out of their way to stop crimes and help other people.
Yeah, that's true. I give it to Splinter for saving them in the net with the arrow.
And heroically walking away.
Sure. He knows that they couldn't possibly get, trapped again.
Yeah, he's walking away chuckling to himself going, I'm a good dad.
He treats it like there's an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
He just walks away and assumes everything's going to work out.
Yep.
There's a real hand-wavy moment in this movie that I wanted to point out before we go.
Yeah.
Where they're I guess they felt like they needed to justify the turtles' names this time.
Oh, yeah.
And so Splinter is explaining to Kino, and I took their names from a book of Renaissance painters I found in a storm drain. And they're like, yeah, that explains it. Wait, motherfucker, you can read? You're a rat.
That's great.
Hooked on phonics? I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
That's great. I am glad that we get the truncated version of the scene where they explain everything to Kino. We don't have to go through all of it again. We can just come in at the end where he's giving them their names.
Right. They just added that one new piece of information this time so that they had a reason to show some of that story being told and to, again, justify those ridiculous Italian names.
Right.
I will say this about Ernie Reyes Jr. being in this movie. Aside from him also being a good martial artist, it's nice to see in a movie about Japanese characters and martial arts, it's nice to see an actual Asian actor.
Yeah. I was thinking about
Splinter's Japanese and he's played by Kevin Clash or whatever.
Right,
and Shredder and Tatsu are both played by Asian actors as well.
Yeah. But at least for one of your heroes and one of the kind of POV character, like I mentioned, it is.
Yeah, it's nice that not everything is whitewashed.
Yeah.
It's weird that the turtles don't speak any Japanese.
Yeah.
That we.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never even thought about it. Because Splinter was raised as a pet in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure how he learned to read or speak English then.
Yeah.
That's a very good point also. I could understand him wanting to raise them to speak English however he learned it, so that, because they live in America, but you'd think at least they'd be bilingual. This is a needlessly deep dive here.
Yeah. We just got done with Ninja Rap, so...
Yeah.
Wanted to...
An amp blew a man in spiked armor clear across a building and through its wall.
Yeah, I mean,
so we're not really
seems
dealing
like
with.
we need MythBusters to do that one. See if it actually works. Yeah, it's it doesn't leave me with a great feeling after watching it as an older person. As a kid, I was probably just pumped after the Ninja Rap.
Sure.
This is kind of a depressing episode.
For the most part, like I said, I had fun with watching it, but it is a very empty feeling of like, yeah, it's fun, but like nothing was accomplished here.
It's a good laundry folding movie.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you're doing something, you're like, oh yeah, that scene, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, empty feeling is correct.
I want to, while we wrap this up, I want to read some comments.
While we ninja wrap this up.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
While we ninja wrap this up, I want to read some comments from our listeners on some of their memories. Brian Lockhart says, I remember seeing Turtles 2 in theater. I really like Ernie Reyes Jr., so I thought it was great he was in it. I never understood why the mutants for the Turtles to fight, why they had mutants for the Turtles to fight but didn't make them Bebop and Rocksteady. He says, now as an adult, I find it funny that they're babies. Yeah, I think we agree with that. It is funny. Super Shredder was the best, and I like him even better with the knowledge he was played by Kevin Nash, the wrestler. Also,
that was Kevin Clash.
Well, Kevin Nash, the wrestler, played Super Shredder, and yeah, Kevin Clash, the puppeteer.
Oh, I got you now. Okay.
Different people, yeah.
Different Kevins.
Yeah.
With Ash at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Also, as a kid, Ninja Rap was radical. So thanks to Brian. Nathan Renly says, go Ninja, go. And then over at Movies as Comics on Instagram, I saw Ooze in theaters. I just like the first one. My Uncle Mike was tasked with taking me and my siblings. I can't imagine how he sat through it. We were all beaming on our way out of the theater. All of us except Uncle Mike. He said without hesitation that it was the stupidest movie he'd ever seen. I mean, sure, Bebop and Rocksteady were replaced with lesser imitations, but the worst? ? Maybe. It was a steady decline with the franchise. So, thanks to those folks for weighing in on their memories.
I think a lot of people have their kid memory.
Yeah.
Because I had the same thing. I was thinking, okay, it's just, a sequel, so it's not that great. But then I haven't watched it probably in like 10 years, 15 years. I'm like, ooh, I do not remember this being such a chore.
Yeah, I gotta be. It's probably been about 20 years since I've watched this movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, even worse for you then, yeah.
I think I watched it pretty close to when TMNT Minute was beginning to air their episodes for season 2. So I did watch it within the last, few years, but yeah. And lastly, I want to also ninja wrap this up with, we've had a kind of a recurring thing where I found some trading cards at a flea market, and I had said that I just happened to find Dick Tracy cards, then RoboCop 2 cards, and then Secret of the Ooze cards. So I've previously, opened the pack on the episode for the other movies. So here I'm going to do that with Secret of the Ooze, and it's from Topps, of course.
It's a live unboxing right here.
Wow.
It's
only not live because you're going to be listening to a recording of this.
Yeah,
it's live to us.
Yeah, it's 8 movie cards and 1 sticker. So I think the sticker it's like the back is part of a puzzle where you can form the movie poster, and then the sticker itself is like a close up on Razar. And then we have
so you got the booby prize.
Yeah, got special delivery, special pizza delivery. It's a picture of Kino holding his pizza box. Secret of their origin, just Raphael and Splinter sitting down, probably talking to Kino, or I guess Perry, probably. Got a close up on Toka.
Nice.
Got a this is weird. It's like a portrait, not portrait, but like a photo portrait of, it just says Raph, and he's standing in front of like his director chair, like the chair that they give certain actors.
Sure, yeah.
But like the back of the chair is red and it just says Raphael. So I guess it's an on-set photo. That's kind of weird.
It's fun.
A dough nutty idea.
Barf.
Ralph, it's Mikey, with the box of donuts. Mysterious green ooze. This is Perry holding up the last canister of ooze before he's about to dispose it. Let's see. Ooh, Tatsu is flattened. It's kind of a two-part picture, like one as they're about to crush him, all four of them together, and then one right after they do it. And lastly, invading a rap club. It's just a picture of Michelangelo, like in the dance club, I guess, but it's not like anything special. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So I will take pictures of those and I'll post those to the Facebook group.
Do they still do trading card movies? Like trading cards for movies?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a 90s thing because of the card boom.
I mean, I know for a fact that they still do, like Topps still does Star Wars cards.
Wow.
But I don't know if any other movies really get that treatment anymore. But
that's crazy.
Ralph, why don't you let us know kind of where we can find you?
Well, you can find me at Cake Boss Ralph on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to watch the second season of Buddy vs. Duff on Food Network, which I'm not going to lie is head and shoulders better than the previous season. If this episode comes out when I think it does, then it should be either just before or just after the second episode, which we make a nearly life-sized ankylosaur out of cake and deliver it to the Museum of Natural History, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
We'll definitely post that in the group as well.
Oh, and a little Real Comic Heroes connection there. The ankylosaur remake is called Zool.
Ooh, nice.
It's named after Zool from Ghostbusters because the paleontologist who discovered it thought that its skull bore a resemblance to the terror dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but if you want to see it, you can.
Yeah.
I think is where I land on that one. But yeah, so go check it out. The show is a lot of fun.
Very cool. I just realized we have not yet rated this episode, rated this movie.
Oh,
we were having so much fun with everything else. We forgot to give it a rating.
What do we rate it out of?
Out of 5.
What is the scale? Out of 5. It's like a 2.5. It's nothing.
Yeah, I was going with the 2. It's there. It's not Captain America 1990 bad, but really not much better.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys at a 2.5. So,
sorry, movie, you exist.
Yeah. So yeah,
Ralph.
That's me, baby.
A little disagreement on our last episode with whether you would watch Captain America 1990 version or would you rather watch Ghostbusters 2?
Oh, I saw that in the Facebook group or whatever.
Yeah.
And no question, would absolutely rather watch Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually
Time's gonna
I
tell
like Ghostbusters 2, except for the giant Statue of Liberty walking into the thing at the end. I think it's fine.
Thank you.
This was purely a which would you rather rewatch? So I would at this point I would rather rewatch Captain America at some point in my life than rewatch Ghostbusters 2. So
I feel pretty comfortable saying that I'm probably going to rewatch Ghostbusters 2 many more times before I die, and I'll probably never watch 1990 Captain America again.
See, Travis? I don't.
Like I said, time's going to tell on that one. I'm just gonna leave that poll open, So we'll check in on it in a couple years, and I'm
sorry that I wasn't here to talk about Ghostbusters 2 with you guys because I'm here for it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
Just wanted another person to chime in on that. That's all.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate it.
Well, don't forget, listeners at home, if you like the show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is free.
Yeah. Ralph, thanks for joining us again. I'm not sure if when we'll talk to you next. I mean, you're welcome back for Terminator 2. That's in like 2 movies. Or if you want to close out the trilogy and come back for Ninja Turtles 3, that's fine as well. But
that movie's pretty rough, man.
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah, maybe 3-4 times, but all as a child.
Yeah. So we'll
That'll be a treat.
We'll be in touch, but yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, I guess.
There's our tagline for this episode.
Cowabunga, dudes. It's the second Ralph Turtles episode.
Backed by Bodacious Demand.
Woof.
All right, citizens, you can find us everywhere. Real Comic Heroes, weigh in on Twitter and Facebook, and talk to us on the Facebook group, Real Comic Heroes League of Citizens. Until
we'll be back with the Rocketeer.
Yeah, we'll do
so something you might actually enjoy
for sure.
Thanks, guys.
So until then,
well, go ninja, go! I made a funny.
To some, it was the fulfillment of a dream. To others, it was an instrument of destruction. A creation that could change the course of history.
It was stolen from my factory.
Where's the package?
This is the FBI!
What do we tell the president?
Tell me exactly why this merchandise is so important to the feds.
It's a rocket.
A rocket?
What? What's the matter?
I don't know. There's something under the seat.
Oh, my. What do we got here? What are you supposed to do? Is it a bomb or something? No. I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
How do I look? Like a hood ornament. Stand clear. What was that? A flying man!
Big gopher.
Are you trying to kill yourself?
I like it.
Uh-oh, we got company.
You steer, I'll push. Well, what?
I will not rocket, Eddie. Not next week, not tomorrow. Now.
Keep your eyes open for this dame.
Jenny's in trouble.
They're working for a Nazi agent.
With an army equipped with these, you could rule the world.
You touch one hair on her head, I swear I'll...
Shoot him! We've got the girl. The rocket will come to us. I love her, Peeve.
Does she know that?
She's gonna find out.
Let him have it!
Hand over the rocket!
The Rocketeer.
Go get him, kid.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Find the show on Facebook and Twitter at Real Comic Heroes. All music and audio are the property of their respective creators.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Yeah, I feel dirty after this.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have to take a shower now. I feel great.
Yeah, that was a real defeated kind of conversation. I'm sorry, guys. I should have brought, I could have brought more energy to that. We could have bumped it up, but it just... Next time.
I even got the highbrow from my daughter. She's just like, what are you watching?
Oh, wow.
And she's 6. Like, I felt like I was the child in that scenario.